Hi, and welcome to your practice. Today we are going to do a little dynamic movement, Vinyasa inspired class with focus on your hip flexors. Often we can have tight hip flexors or weak hip flexors, and you might feel a little pinching when you lift your leg or bend your front knee. So we're going to work a little bit on that, both stretching and strengthening, and also some nice little releases of the hip flexor. So I want you to come to a comfortable seat, sit up nice and tall, close your eyes, and just focus the breath. Start being a little bit more present in your body. Just notice that nasal breathing, deepen it. Let your inhale physically expand into your belly, so your belly goes out as you inhale and in as you exhale. And blink your eyes open. Take your hands to your knees and take a couple of circles. Just get that movement into your spine. One of those movements that we do almost every class. It's just so good for the spine and the belly to get that movement and change direction, go the other way. And come to center. Make your way onto all four. And start with a few cat-cows. And you're just waking up the body and taking the time to be present. Notice what goes on in your body. And come to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. Keep your knees bent and stay on your tippy toes. This is all about just getting that length going through your spine, through your shoulders. And then roll forward. Come into your plank pose, lower your hips, open up your chest. And roll back. One more time, roll forward. And roll back. And walk it out. Find that first down dog. Remember, your down dog it's not about perfection. Nothing is about perfection. It's about being in your own body and feeling what the pose looks like to you today. And then lower your knees back on the mat. Lift your right leg up, knee bent. Point your toes. And then gently pulse up. And keep going. We're going to do another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there. And then with your left hand, grab that right foot and press the foot into your hand. Opening up your front. And release. Other side, Again, point the toes, bend the knees, bend the knee, and pulse. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there, grab the foot, press the foot into the hand. And release. Tuck your toes again. Come back into your down dog. And walk your feet up to your hands. And take a ragdoll fold. Grab your elbows, put a little bit of bend in your knees, and just hang here. Let gravity do the work so you're not forcing anything. Slowly roll up to standing. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then I want you to lift your right knee out in front and slowly lower it back down. And as you lower it down, can you engage the hamstring and the glute on that leg, so that underneath the thigh here and your butt. Slowly lower down. And again, lift the right knee up. Same thing, get those little engagements and slowly lower down. One last time, lift. And you're going to slowly lower down, but this time you're going to step that right leg back about a foot worth, and not super far. Just a little step back, put some bend in that left knee, and come onto the top of that right foot. So you on the top of your toes here. And then I want you to press that into the mat. So as you're actively pressing the top of your right foot into the mat, there's a little bit of engagement that happens all the way up that right leg. Hold that activity. And release, step forward. Come over to the other side. So lift your left knee up. And again, you're going to get that little engagement, hamstring, glute. Slowly lower down. And lift. Slowly lower down. And lift. Slowly lower down, and this time you're going to step it back, just a foot worth, or maybe a foot and a half. Come on to the top of that foot, and again, actively press that into the mat. So you get that activity going up the leg, put a little bend in that right knee. And release, step forward. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step back to plank pose. And move through a vinyasa. It can be your version. If chaturangas are not working for your shoulders, skip them. Just go back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Step forward. And then I want you to lower your back knee, untuck your back toes, and then lift the back knee off the mat. So again, you're resting on the top of your foot, and then I want you to just gently pulse. So this movement really depends on your hip flexor, how big it is. It might be a tiny little movement if you've got really tight hip flexors. That's fine. So really play it by ear. Don't go into, this shouldn't be painful. There might be sensation. It might be tiny bit of discomfort, but not a lot, and definitely no pain, then you're doing too much. And lower the back knee, straighten the front leg, come into a half split. Make sure you're lengthening the spine here. Flex the right foot. And bend the front knee. Step back to plank pose, Vinyasa. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step your left foot forward. And again, you're going to lower the back knee. Come onto the top of that back foot. Lift the back knee again. Same thing. Going to add this little pulse. Might feel different on this side. That's okay. So it's never right or wrong. It's just making the observations. It's being present, noticing what is going on in your body. Maybe lengthen that spine a bit more. And lower the back knee, come into your half split. Again, try and lengthen the spine as much as possible and straighten it instead of rounding. Lengthen. And come forward. Step back to plank pose, Vinyasa. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Step forward, come into a lunge. Back knees off the mat this time. Reach your arms up. Palms together, bend your elbows, move your hands back in space. A little bit of engagement in your belly. We want to focus this on the upper back and shoulders, not the lower back. So we just kind of a little bit of resistance in the belly. And then take your hands to your chest, come into a twist. Reaching through that back heel, press that right palm into the left. Inhale, come into a warrior two. Strong, active legs. And put a little bit of movement in here. So just going a little deeper in that front knee. And you might notice that when you do that, if you have a tight hip flexor, you might feel it. So with the hip flexor, I don't necessarily like this, a lot of stagnant stretching. I like the dynamic movement. I just feel like it kind of adds a little bit of bounce and elasticity to the hip flexor. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill down. Lift the back heel up. And again, just going to lower the back knee to untuck your toes and get on the top of the foot. Lift the back knee up again. And same thing. A little bit of bounce here. Lower the back knee down again, tuck the toes. Lift the back knee, right arm up, revolved lunge. And lower the back knee again. Take your left arm, windmill it up and over, come into a one-legged camel. Either hands to the small of your back or the heel. Remember, lift the heart to the sky and see if you can push your hips forward just a little bit. See if you can squeeze that left glute. And windmill down. Step back to plank pose, Vinyasa. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Step forward, come into your lunge. Palms together, bend the elbows, come into that shoulder opener. Hands to your heart and twist. Warrior two. And again, add a little bit of movement here. Almost like a little bounce. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale. Windmill down, lift the back heel, and again, you're going to lower the back knee, come onto the top of the foot, lift the back knee again. A little bounce. See if you can engage that right glute. And lower the back knee, tuck the toes again, lift, revolve lunge. Lower the knee, come into your one-legged camel, your version. Again, can you squeeze the butt, or engage the glutes, and push the hips forward a bit. Windmill down, step back to plank pose, Vinyasa. And then come forward into a plank, lower down onto your forearms and lower down to a sphinx. Make sure your elbows are either underneath your shoulders, a little forward. What I don't want them is to be behind the shoulders. And then bend your right knee. And with your right hand, can you grab that foot? And then gently pull that foot towards your butt cheek. Maybe it gets all the way down there, maybe not, doesn't matter. You feel sensation in the front of your thigh. Gently release. Other side. Try and make sure that both of your hip points are on the mat, not lifting. And gently release. Come up onto all four. And then make your way all the way onto your back. Knees bent. Feet flat on the ground, arms along your side. Activate the back of your shoulders into the mat and lift up into a bridge pose. Activate your whole back body so your glutes are engaged, your hamstrings are engaged, those back muscles are engaged. And slowly lower back down. Nice neutral spine. Still breathing through your nose. And one more bridge pose. Press your feet into the ground. drop back down. And slowly and gently move your knees to your chest. And move a little from side to side. And take your arms out to the sides and let both of your legs come over to one side. Recline twist. Relaxing into the lengthening. And come back to center. Other side. And come back to center. And find your Shavasana. Relax your body, close your eyes. And relax your breath. And stay here for as long as you need, which is probably longer than you want to. When we practice at home, we tend to skip the Shavasana. But don't do that. Take that time to let your body and your brain absorb all the work you just did. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.